with me now. Come with me now.
Hey, we are Kongos, and we are chilling with Gary Cool.
Hi.
Last time we spoke was in our home country, South Africa. Here we are in London, all five of us, chatting again. It's great. Great to see you guys again.
Yeah, likewise.
See you, man.
Watched the whole set tonight. Unbelievable. Very, very cool. And the crowd, they were patting your hands. You guys, they loved you. How awesome does it feel playing O2 and a London crowd, foreign to you guys, are just loving you guys?
That was pretty special because the last time we played in London, I think we played to like 50 people. And to come back and play to the O2, and they're obviously all here for One Republic. No one knows who we are, other than a few pockets of fans that we've had, or some expats from South Africa. But to see them actually reacting like that in such a big venue was really cool to see.
Yeah. Do you know, I was driving about 3 months ago, and I heard you guys on Absolute Radio.
Okay, yeah.
And they're playing you guys all the time. And XFM have grabbed a hold of your single. They're playing you now, and I think Radio 6, BBC Radio 6 are playing you too.
Oh, cool.
So you guys are getting a lot of love.
Yeah.
But it took the States to wake up. It took them 2 years. You guys are huge in South Africa with Lunatic, the album. And how many singles did you release in South Africa that were massive? Was it 4 or 5?
We got to 6 or 7.
6 or 7. You were all over the place for like a year. Yeah. And then it took America 2 years. What was that breaking point that finally...
I think it was the same thing that happened in South Africa, really. It was one guy at 5FM that opened an email, heard I'm Only Joking, and said I want to play it. And a similar thing happened in the States. Is one DJ started playing Come With Me Now in Denver, and another guy in Chicago started playing I'm Only Joking. And it finally clicked. It took that one person or those two people, separate kind of stories to just get things going.
It's more in the States. That was the beginning of the ball rolling, because in South Africa, 5FM, there's no station like 5FM or BBC One or whatever in the States. So they're all pockets, city-based, and so but it does, like, if it's an influential station, they influence the other stations.
True, awesome. And you guys have been playing talk shows in America. That must be surreal.
Yes.
Shit
your pants, surreal. That's the most
I shook Jenna Bush's hand, and it wasn't until I did that, because I never watched. I don't know who's on the show. Yeah. And just realized, that's
one step away from George Bush.
Yeah. Separation from the president.
But now, Kwaito music has made such an impact to your sound. Will it continue to make an impact to the rest of the music that you guys make? The other albums that
I think definitely released? Sort of in essence. I mean, when those Mendoza tracks came out in the 90s, right? And it took a little while for it to filter over where we heard it in America, but we were just that groove kind of blew us away. Yeah. And the aggression and the balls of it. So we like that, and we like to apply that rhythm and that mentality to a rock setup with its real drums or whatever, and definitely and then all kinds of South African music will continue to influence our sound, I think.
It's funny now, we've done all these interviews in the States where they say, explain Come With Me Now and what influenced it, and we tell the story about how Kwaito influenced it. That's what it did, it influenced it. And there's a bunch of these articles saying now that we're a Kwaito band.
Even on radio, they call you guys a Kwaito rock band.
It's funny.
It's awesome.
It's cool. It's just fun. It's like, I don't want people thinking that we said that.
These guys are not quite.
They're quite.
So it's your sound that people are slightly confused about, and also your name. It's Kongos. Let's just lay it out now. How do you pronounce your surname, the name of the band?
American
Coldplay. I'll tell you, the best it's been pronounced so far is in Mexico, because it's like doesn't seem like a foreign word to them, so they say Kongos. And that's the original way it was said. It's a Greek name shortened from like Congolidis or Congolopoulos or something like that, so it's Kongos. But it's difficult to say that to...
You can't get an American to say that. They're going to say Kongos no matter what. So.
If you say Congus, like the way we kind of say it, throw it away like Congus, then they spell it Congus. And it's just impossible to get them to know what the word is.
That looks like a dirty word,
yeah.
But now, going back quickly to the sound, the Kwaito sound. It was in the late 90s, internet wasn't really huge, or wasn't in everyone's home. How did you guys get Kwaito Records?
With some friends, really. Actually, the friends are here right now.
Family
friends.
Kalagata.
We knew them forever.
That was huge.
Yeah, they sent us that song.
Yeah, they came over and they had it on their iPod, and they said, or I don't even know if it was an iPod, I just downloaded it or something. And they said, you got to hear this Ngalagata song. And at the time we didn't quite get it, and then listen over and over again, and then you imagine it in the club, and then all of a sudden it clicks, you know.
We've been listening to a lot of other stuff too, you know, there's like Maskandi music and Shangaan electro and a lot of other styles of music from South Africa that I think will play a little part in, and influence some of the new album.
But Mendoza and Kalakata is pretty much where Kongos started.
We had an album already at that point, I think, you know, so it was the second album. Definitely we wanted to pay attention to what was happening in South Africa. Just
a little late.
It just, I don't know, it feels like it's in their blood, you know.
When you listen to your dad's Tokoloshi Man, there's definitely a similarity between your sounds.
Yeah.
How did that influence come about? Was he in the room when you guys were playing, or was it just listening back to his stuff? And
I think it was the fact that we heard those we grew up around it, and he talked about how he made those records and all that stuff, and he introduced us to a lot of traditional African music, and it still felt fresh. So we're like, well, this is cool, you know. This is a way to do something fresh in alternative or in alt rock, where the groove is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of alt rock is not groove oriented, and that's always what moved us a lot. So its influence, it was natural enough to follow that.
Now, a year ago, when people wanted to describe your band to, say, a friend or to a listener or to a reader, they would say the Sons of Johnny Kongos. Now they don't need to say that, because you guys are a force on your own. Your music, everyone knows your singles. How does that feel?
I think, you know, it really depends on town to town. But when we go to a place like Chicago or Mexico City, which we just played, it's you feel like you're living somebody else's life. It's weird, you know, when people recognize you, or they think they know who you are, or they know the song at least.
Yeah.
It kind of helps when we walk down all four together singing our own songs. Like, it helps getting recognized.
Big Congo sign. Here.
Right. Now, your album, as mentioned before, Lunatic, was a massive hit in South Africa. Was that 2011 or 2012?
I think the official release date was 2012.
And it was big. It was everywhere. And everyone knew you guys. Everyone loved you guys. Everyone came to your shows. And now you're basically living off the same album, but in the States and in the UK. Is it weird playing an album that's 2 years old as if it was a new album?
It was, before shit started to really happen for us in the States and roll, it was getting a little bit weird, because we were like just playing these same songs that we've been playing, and we're playing them to no one. You know, and then when the ball started rolling and we had crowds that re-energized the music, it gave it a whole different experience, you know, because now we could go to a city like Chicago and play to thousands of people that know the words to our album, and that gave it a different feeling, re-energized it for sure.
We're still, I mean, like you said, we've kind of finished our album cycle in South Africa and went back to America, and nothing was happening for a year and a half. So that downtime was good, because it allowed us to write and record. We've got new material in the pipeline for the next album, so we're ready as soon as we can. You know, we don't want to cut Lunatic short. We want it to have its recognition, but we're ready.
Was there ever any doubt within that year and a half? Like, is this going to ever happen? Or were you
Yeah, quite a lot of doubt.
Well, but and it was particularly kind of frustrating, because now we'd actually seen that it had worked in South Africa. So before the South Africa, it was just a complete question. Now we knew it worked with people. People liked it. If they could hear it, we'd get a certain percentage of people that would like the music. So that was particularly frustrating, I think, coming back and having it not click anywhere in the States.
Yeah. And will you let Lunatic run its course like it did in South Africa in America, or are there plans to go and record a new
I don't think that's possible. I mean,
it's much slower cycle, the radio cycle in America. So I don't think
they've been playing "Come With Me Now" for like a year.
Yeah.
they never stop. They never stop playing it. So South Africa is much more reasonable radio cycle.
Yeah,
you know,
like
the song goes
12 weeks or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Then they move on to a new song.
It's there. It's just like it's so long each single, you know. So it's not possible to get 7. Like Katy Perry did it.
Yeah. But if there was a new single from the album Lunatic, which single do you think would make it in America?
Well, right now the second single is "I'm Only Joking," and it's doing well at alt radio. I think it's 11 or 12 or something like that on the charts. And then it's "I Want to Know" is going to be the third single, and that's going to roll out. It's probably in a couple months or a month or whatever. We're excited about that, but like they said, it just takes so long. You know, in South Africa, we had 7 singles within a year or 18 months. Now it's Come With Me Now for 18 months. You just can't get people to move off a song.
Now you guys are touring with One Republic. How has this tour been so far?
So far, really good.
Yeah.
We've only done
third,
3 shows so far, but we're comparing everything to Kings of Leon, and so far it's because they set a very high standard of like what it's like to be a support band for a big band. But so far, it's all going really well. You know, getting treated well by the crews, and the catering is. I don't know if it's as good as Kings of Leon yet. It's damn good.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, it's all good. I think we've had some unusual experiences opening up for bands in the past, and mostly good. You know, AWOL Nation and Dispatch, all really cool guys.
And by unusual, you mean shit.
Yeah, but with bands this size, you know, Kings of Leon, they're so established. They don't
have to prove themselves.
Yeah, they're
like they treat us really well. Yeah. You know, they had us on the tour because they want us to. I mean, they want to tour with us, and we want to tour with them, but they also want us to get some exposure, and they're very generous with exposing us to their fans.
Is that the actual band or the management?
That's the actual. Yeah.
That must be really cool, because I'm sure you guys were fans of Kings of Leon before this all began. Touring with them. Or
became much bigger fans from the tour because I'd never seen them, and I thought the show was awesome.
We'd actually, our agent, you know, when we first signed with our American agent, she asked, you know, what bands do you think you'd fit with when you go on tour?
Yeah.
If you put a list together of 10 bands, and we said, like, I think number 1 and 2, or 2 and 3 were Kings of Leon and Young a Giant. And then a few months later, or not even a few months later, she said, I've got this offer. Kings of Leon and Young a Giant, you guys be, you know, opening slot. So it worked out.
So they actually asked you guys to come and tour with them?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both. You know, they put out the word that there's an opening slot available, and agents and managers from around country or world, whatever, pitch their band, and then they choose who they want to tour with. And I think they actually wanted to do a family tour. They wanted to do Kings of Leon. Originally, I think it was going to be like another family band like Haim or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And then us, because we're brothers.
Do you guys get to party with the bands that you open for? Like, did you guys get to spend some downtime with?
We partied more with Young the Giant because Kings of Leon are kind of in their own world in terms of their schedule and everything. It's just so different. But we did, we drank some beers and then went out to they threw a big after party at this club in LA after the last show. They were very friendly. They did, it's just such a different level, their schedules.
Our guitar tech nearly elbowed Joe Jonas in the face by mistake.
Now it started at the beginning of last year to get everything out, but I managed to get a few artists, and you guys were one of the bands that we got to write an open letter to Bruce Springsteen.
Oh yeah.
And it fucking worked.
Yeah, he came.
He came, and I thought it was just a coincidence. You know, I thought obviously it was all planned, and this letter just came out at the right time. But he even said in a press thing that it was because of the open letter. It touched him. So
that's amazing.
That's
so
awesome.
Thank you for that. Yeah. South Africa thanks you. But is he someone that you would love to open for?
To play, that would be huge. That would be an honor. I mean, I don't know if we would fit touring wise. Of course, if he called and said, "Hey guys, you want to open?" we'd say, "Hell yes." But just to play on the same stage as him, he's an absolute legend.
Definitely is. And now, when you guys introduce yourselves, do you introduce yourselves as a Phoenix band or a South African band, or South African band?
I'd say both.
Both.
Say we're originally from South Africa, based in Phoenix, or
Phoenix by way of South Africa, even though that doesn't explain anything to anybody. But
South Africa works well because it's just our story. We were born in London, so there's also that part of it.
Yeah.
So it's just a simple story, and it's an easy thing for the U.S. radio to just pick up, like, from South Africa, living in Phoenix now.
It's a convoluted story because Danny was born in South Africa.
Yeah.
But before you played Escape Tonight, you said that South Africa is a place you love to escape to, or something like that.
Yeah.
And that was quite touching.
Well, it's also, there's this. It's kind of a little bit based on this Nostradamus quote. Apparently, he said that when Armageddon happens or the end of the world happens, the southern tip of Africa will be safe. So it was just a little idea in my head, but also, if it does kind of feel like South Africa's down there on the bottom of the planet by itself, and it does feel like a haven sometimes, especially when whatever's going on, hurricanes or war in the northern hemisphere. It's kind of a crazy world, and we just have roots there. We have friends there. We have, it feels like a home when we're there.
Yeah.
We have a home there.
Yeah, we belong there.
When you left South Africa towards the end of 2012, I think it was.
Yeah.
Was it okay, guys? We've done enough here.
Yeah.
Let's go back home.
Yeah, I think we just didn't want to come back and basically play the same songs to people. I'm sure there'd be a ton of people that would enjoy that, but we'd rather come back and have something new to play for people, not just be like, hey, come with me now, and I'm only joking again.
Initially, that was the plan. We were going to have another album, and then this year we would have been in South Africa, kicking off a tour like with this new album, and then Lunatic started to really just happen for us, and we can't stop that ball from rolling. We can't turn down huge festival offers and big tours. So we're dying to get back to South Africa for a tour with
because that is a question that everyone's asking. When are you going to come back? So now,
I mean, I don't want to don't quote us on this, but I cannot not imagine not going back next year at some point. Towards the end of the year, maybe something.
It depends entirely on new material. Like I said, we have new songs that we want to get out. It's a question of getting the timing right with the current Lunatic plan. So,
what was the new song you played tonight? Take It From Me. Is that what it's called? That was pretty good. I really enjoyed that. So how many new songs have you guys written? Are there too many to even?
Yeah. I think we've probably got 2 more albums worth of songs. It's a question of choosing, which goes with which.
Yeah, I mean, if we didn't have any quality control, we have 5 or 6 albums of songs ready. But when
one good album,
whittle it
4
down
shit
to
ones.
the songs that we want to release, I think we have 2 albums worth.
You guys are brothers, obviously. Are you guys hard on each other when it comes to the songwriting process, to the jamming process?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not really in everything, I'd say, except songwriting.
We're hard on each other if somebody leaves their dirty socks in the bunk, that's when you really get hard on. But songwriting, we're honest with each other, but there's no need with such a sort of sensitive process, because we all want the same thing. We want all the songs to do well and be good. So
it's also sometimes you play a demo, or somebody will play a demo, and you just don't see it, in the demo state. But it turns out there was a grain of good idea in there, and you don't want to kill the idea before it's germinated. So that's why you're not unnecessarily harsh. Like, I don't tell Johnny your song fucking sucks. I don't know what you
I do.
Well, going back to that year and a half that you were waiting after the success of South Africa and not waiting for something to happen in America or even the UK, were you guys ever thinking, maybe we should go get full-time jobs?
We were thinking we need to do 1 more album and then get full-time jobs. We were like, we'll give this 1 more album, I think.
Where did the recording of Lunatic take place?
In our basement.
Where or when?
Where?
Oh,
Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah.
And who was the producer of that one?
We were Jesse mainly on the
And the next album will be the same.
Yeah.
If you could work with anyone to help you record this album?
No, not on this album. We'd like to work with Dr. Dre or something on a kind of a separate thing. But I think for a Kongos album, we're always going to do Kongos albums ourselves.
Well, when you opened for Linkin Park in South Africa, you had Jack Parrott come on.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Whose idea was that? Was that you guys? Okay, we need someone.
Well, we've been doing that cover, the Come Together cover, for a while, and we had our friend, if you saw him tonight,
Yes,
Mo Gordon.
Mo Gordon.
He came up and rapped, and
He's-
he wasn't down in South Africa with us, and we knew Jack Parrott and we loved his stuff, and we just thought it would work. So we asked him if he wanted to do it, and he was like, "Yeah, hell
Well
yeah."
done. It was amazing. I was getting beers at that time, and I just heard this eruption. And then someone in front of me said, "Fuck, someone's come on the stage. We're missing this." And it was Jack Parrott. So it was really cool.
Yeah.
And how was it opening for Linkin Park? Was that also an amazing thing? Did you get to meet them and hang with them at all?
We didn't meet them, but actually, Jesse, you met.
Yeah,
I forget who it was. We played another show with them recently in Arizona, a radio show down there. That was crazy because that really was the kind of like cherry on the top of the whole South African thing for us. You know, it was at the end of the cycle for us, and then to go play Soccer City.
Yeah.
You know, 65,000
We'd
people.
literally
Fucking
done
hell.
like 3 or 4 flights in a couple of weeks back and forth to South Africa because we were playing shows in the States and then festivals like Joburg Day and Rockin' the Daisies and all these things. We were going back and forth, and we're like finally going back to the States to finish off our the rest of our tour, which was about another 3 weeks left, and got the call and said, hey, would you guys be open to the idea of opening for Linkin Park at Soccer City and the Cape Town Stadium? We're like, fuck. So we cancelled like 6 of our shows and went back and did that.
Crazy. But now, a lot of people think that an opening band, their genre of music should be similar to the band that they opened for. Linkin Park is totally different to Kongos. Do you guys agree? Or is it really the kind of listener?
It depends on the show the headliner wants to put on. I don't. Whatever, you know, it makes.
I personally don't like to go to shows and see 3 of the same bands. You know, when there's a mix to the bill, I like that. So
there are shows where comedians open up.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we open. No, but yeah, I don't care as long as the show works. You know?
I think for us, we enjoy opening for anyone, really. Like, anyone will take us. No, but I mean, we played with Linkin Park, Kings of Leon, Now One Republic, and AWOL Nation, Disband. Like, they're completely different, 5 completely different bands. And we cater our set a little bit, but at the same time, we like coming out there, doing what we do, and just having the crowd say, oh, this is not what I was expecting. And, you know, maybe it has a bit more of an impact than...
I feel like it's a changing mentality, too, especially with Spotify and everywhere. Nobody's as clicky or genre attached anymore, so it's not as relevant now.
Lastly, how does it feel to have a number 1 in America? How does it feel to knock a Lord down? I believe you knocked her down. Kick her out of there.
She swore at me and I punched her.
She had the last we saw her at Austin City Limits, and I tried to get a picture of her just so I could do a face swap, you know. And she couldn't. Her
security.
Yeah, security was moving her away. So she got the last one.
We didn't knock her out. I didn't knock her out. I swear. It was something like her song got to the top of the charts and ours got there as quickly or something like that. You know, it was some statistic. I don't really know what it means.
Some bullshit statement by some
chart.
If you read the chart picture, they find like whatever, any song, they can find out what it's the first song to have done.
First song to go to number
first
10
song
in
named Come
7
With
weeks.
Me Now to be on the charts in the first week of 2014 since 2013.
Kongos, it's been awesome. I hope we can do this again when you're in London again, and I got a funny feeling you guys will be very soon.
Yeah.
And seriously, great show. Really enjoyed it.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, man.
Nice to see
Thank you so much.
Come with me now. Come with me.